All right, so I'm here with Ellen. I'm going to ask her a couple of key questions. You have no idea what I'm about to ask.
Nope, I have no idea.
Okay, right. So, Ellen, what do you understand by the term inflation?
Inflation, I'm not really sure. Don't really know what that means. I know it has something to do with money, I think, and I think something to do with something increasing.
Yes. Okay, so it's about prices increasing.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think has happened to prices recently?
They've increased.
By a substantial amount?
Not really sure. All
Okay.
I know is that isn't there been like some not depression, but like something like the economic downfall.
Yeah, we've had a downfall from the recession.
Yeah,
But
the
we're-
recession.
Yes, that's the one. And we're going to go into that slightly later.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more thinking about the impact on the consumer. So how do you think, have these increases in price affected you in any way?
Me personally, as a student, not particularly, as my parents helped me out with a lot of money and I don't have a job.
Okay.
So it hasn't affected me, but it's affected a lot of my friends' families in the sense where, I know my half-sister, she can't, because food prices have gone up, I think.
Yeah.
Quite
Sure.
a substantial amount, and
Yeah,
she
yeah.
finds it really difficult to even, buy food for her family. And so it's affected, I think it's affected the people who never really had, who were just about getting by, and I think that's really affected people, but with people with a lot of money, I don't think it's ever really had that much of an effect.
And do your parents tend to, I mean, obviously it changes as you grow older, they probably tend to give you more money anyway, but do you find they're giving you more money as prices rise, or do you feel that you're just getting the same amount but getting less for your money?
I probably, for example, if I went to the cinema, it used to cost £5, £6, something like that, and my parents would just give me a tenner or something. But now it costs £8, £9, but they'd still just give me a tenner. But I think I'd get, like you said, was it less for my money?
Yeah.
So I'd
because
get the
prices
same
increase.
amount, yeah. So
you're paying for the same goods, but they're
for
more
a lot
expensive.
more
and you're not
expensive
getting
just for the
same.
premium of going to the shop and getting it.
Yeah. So do you think, what sort of areas do you think prices have increased in most then? So you mentioned food.
Yeah.
What other sort of aspects of spending have you personally been like, well, or I was going to buy, say for example, I was going to buy that really nice top and then I decided actually it's too expensive. Does that occur, or do you tend to buy the same thing?
No, it definitely, I shop in Topshop a lot.
Okay.
And I do think that prices have gone up in Topshop by a substantial amount, and that does stop me definitely from buying some items.
So then do you move to, I mean, say you were in Topshop now and then something you thought was going to be 20 quid end up costing 30, what would you do? Would you just not buy the thing altogether, or would you go to an alternative shop? Or
I just probably wouldn't buy the thing altogether. I don't think I'd go to
you would
an
just give it up
alternative shop.
completely?
Yeah, I'd just give up.
Okay. What do you think inflation means for the UK economy?
Bad things.
Okay. So you think it's purely bad, like poor implications and things?
Poor implications, what does that mean?
So do you think that the fact that prices are increasing, do you think that's going to have a bad impact on how much, say, the economy is producing, how much people are spending?
Yes, definitely. I would assume so, but at the moment I read something recently in the news about people spending ridiculous amounts on Christmas because Christmas is coming up. I think that depending on external factors such as Christmas affects greatly, because people still want the same things as last year, but just this year, but due to inflation, they're obviously a lot more expensive. But I don't think people are going to stop buying the things that they want.
Yeah, I think they call it Mad Monday or something, which was the Monday that's just gone, where spending in 1 year, no matter what's happened in the rest of the year, that is the most spending. So people will do it sort of regardless. So do you think people are going to be spending less and less this Christmas, or do you think it depends on sort of what their incomes are like?
I think people, the fact that it is Christmas, I think people are willing to take out money, to take loans from banks in order to give their children what they want more. So I think it will affect them in the long run, but at the moment I think that they're not really, they wouldn't think about it, and they just pay the money for the things even though they are more expensive now.
Okay. So moving on, do you think inflation can ever be a good thing?
It depends who you're talking about, because obviously to some people inflation could be a good thing, because if you're increasing, for example, cinema again, if Odeon's increasing their prices, they're going to be making a great profit from increasing their prices. But on the other hand, it wouldn't be very good for the consumer, someone like me, because then I'll just end up paying more money for the same amount of goods. But it'll be beneficial for the people who are increasing the prices.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so finally, this is just a very sort of general trivial question. Are we in a recession at the moment?
I think we're coming out of the recession at the moment, personally.
But in terms of actually defining a recession, just a clear yes or no, are we in a recession? Don't be embarrassed.
I would say yes.
Okay. Do you have any idea what GDP is, or
Gross something product?
gross domestic product?
Gross
So how much in the country? Yeah. So that's how much output. Do you have any idea? It's increased, I can tell you, in the third quarter. Have you got any idea what sort of figure it might be? What sort of percentage?
How much it's increased by? 50%?
Okay.
No idea, really.
It's 1%.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.